Hello everybody, welcome back to the Motown Mex channel. I'm your host, always the Mex Canadian, and today is a conversation that a lot of people were pretty, but for a while it was pretty split. It was very 50-50 on having this conversation and not having this conversation for different reasons. And as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, this is going to be about Patrick Kane. Because today, at the time I'm recording this, it was the Red Wings took on the Minnesota Wild. They went down 4-1, not excusing that, but they managed to come back in the third period with 3 straight unanswered goals and tie the game 4-4 with 5 minutes left. Now, most normal situations, that game would probably end up going to overtime at least, right? At minimum, it would go to overtime. Each team would get a point. You can split points with the West, all right? That is still something you can do. Splitting points with the West has minimal impact on you except for regulation wins, which, fair enough. That was why we didn't make the playoffs 2 years ago. But regardless, you can split points with the West. Doesn't matter, especially because the Wild they've already clinched the playoff spot. Didn't matter if you went to overtime as long as you won the game. And what happened here, as you're probably seeing on the screen now, was Patrick Kane scored the 4th goal to tie the game, right? And then no more than, I want to say, 2 minutes later, if that, he, for whatever fucking reason, decided to trip Quinn Hughes in open ice 90 feet behind the play. Like, I don't know what his thought process was there. And I like Kane. I have liked Kane his entire time here, even through the down spells that he's had, his lack of 5v5 production. I've enjoyed Kane's time here. And I always knew when we got him, he wasn't going to be fast, right? He's still not fast. He wasn't going to be physical. He probably wasn't going to provide you much defense. But, he could score. He could dish the puck out like nobody else in the league. He's got such an insanely high hockey IQ that defenders back away from him because they just don't know what he's going to do. So I enjoy watching Kane play, and I've enjoyed his time on this team. But today it made me start thinking, because yes, he scored the goal that got them tied. Then he immediately erased that by doing one of the stupidest things I have ever seen Patrick Kane do. And that was tripping Quinn Hughes, open ice, 90 feet behind the play. Like, I posted today, I don't care if Quinn Hughes sent his ghosts to haunt your family. When you're in a tie game after you were just down 4-1 and all the momentum is on your side, you do not do that. I don't care if Quinn Hughes went up to Patrick Kane and called him a bitch, right? You do not take a penalty like that. Like, if it was, I wouldn't be standing here so pissed off if it was a tic-tac, Quinn Hughes skated into Patrick Kane's stick and tripped over. No, Patrick Kane straight up stuck his stick out and tripped Quinn Hughes. He purposely did it in open eyes to everybody. And it's funny because, Minnesota got away with like 4 trips in the first period, but that doesn't matter now. It didn't matter in the first place. It was a mind-boggling penalty. And it's getting to the point where even somebody who has defended Patrick Kane being on this team a lot, right? I don't know if he should be in a top 6 role anymore. I don't know, even though he's got over 50 points this season again, but I don't know. He's not contributing an insane amount 5v5. I don't know what the numbers are right now because all the Red Wings seem to be able to do is score at 5v5 now, and the power play sucks. But if he's going to do shit like that, you cannot afford to, think about it. If he's willing to take a penalty at that point in the game, then in an important game, right? Like, this wasn't just a game in the middle of January, right? No, this was a game where if you won this game, you would have been in a playoff spot, right? Ottawa won later on, so you would have still been in the same spot. But now you're in this situation where, you got lucky the last few days, right? The last 2 games where you lost, everybody else around you lost, right? But today that luck ran out because you lost the game, and now Ottawa's 2 points up on you in the second wildcard spot. So if he's willing to do that in a game like this, for whatever reason, he's smart enough to know not to do it, but he did it, then what's to stop him from doing the same thing in, game 7 of the playoffs in overtime, right? What's to stop him from from doing the same thing in the future? I'm not saying get rid of him right now, but it is, in my opinion, it is probably time to have the conversation on whether or not you bring him back next season. And I say this even though knowing he's probably going to be back next season, just because I think the only reason right now, there's only 2 possibilities of why he wouldn't be here next season. 1, he does a retirement season in Chicago, or 2, he just retires in general, right? Those are the only 2 scenarios I don't see him being here anymore next season. And I don't think he's retiring next season. He's only 37. I say only 37. He's 37. He's probably got another year or 2 left in him. So I don't see him retiring after this season. But I also don't see him playing on anybody besides the Red Wings. Because if he's not retiring after this season, then he's probably not going to go back to Chicago unless it's for his last season. So I don't know, but it's definitely something that needs to be talked about. And, it's not the first time he's taken a stupid penalty, right? But at least those weren't in your most important game up to that point of the season, right? Especially not after you just scored to tie a game that you were down 4-1 in with 5 minutes left. You cannot take a penalty there, because the odds are, the way the game was going, the Red Wings had all the momentum. There was a very real possibility that they scored again after that 4-1 goal and could have won this thing in regulation. At the very least, they were probably going to go to overtime and get a point. But now, the Flyers won as well, I believe. So, I'm not scoreboard watching because I just refuse to. I don't find any reason in completely stressing myself out about something that's not in my control, which it's another thing. That's for a different video. But yeah, it's definitely time to start having the conversation, at least in my opinion, about whether or not Patrick Kane should be on the team next year. And I know there's probably going to be a lot of you in the comments saying, I've been wanting to have that I've been having that conversation for 2 years now, or something like that. And I don't see it that way. I didn't see it that way, because he was still producing. Whether or not it was 5v5, he was still producing as one of the best point producers on this team. He's got 50 points right now, over 50 points, which is, I think, top 5 on the team right now. I think he's behind DeBrincat, Larkin, Raymond, Seider. So I don't know. It's not something that I want to talk about, but it's something that needs to be talked about. And today just kind of solidified the need for that conversation. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Sorry if I sound a bit weird, by the way. My throat's been scratchy all week. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Sorry that this was kind of more of it was a little bit of a nothing burger video, but I just needed to say it. And I've got the platform to say it, so I'm going to say it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.